Ciao YouTube. Benvenuto nel salvataggio e principale con with Palermo. Che si chiama le Aquile Volano. What I've just said in English is, welcome YouTube, it's the main save with Palermo. It is called le Aquile Volano, which in translation into English is the Eagles Fly. And I'm pretty sure if you look at Palermo's, Palermo's, where do you see it now? Where you look at their nicknames. Is it history, overview, profile? I thought it was in profile where it's their nickname. Maybe they got rid of it. Maybe I've completely missed it. There we go. All I know is that in real life, their nickname is Le Aquile Volano, which is the Eagles Fly, because they are the Eagles. And, play on words, that is going to be the name of the save. It is so good to be here with a main save for FM22. Quick word on the beta save of Newcastle. Work's been hectic. I've actually just finished doing 900 Ks in over 24 hours. I went and stayed overnight in a place called Whyalla, which is about 440 Ks away from Adelaide. Did a couple jobs there, came back, am home, wrecked, but we need to get into this. So I missed drop day, which was fun. We also have had so much work on as well that getting uploads out, even though episodes are recorded for the beta, has been difficult. Just expect sporadic days where I upload like 4 episodes at a time to catch that up. As it so stands, we're like a quarter way through season 3 with the beta, and at the moment of filming we're only on to episode 12 and I have 20 filmed. So just expect just random droplets of the beta throughout. The one thing I will say is, this save though is going to have my full attention. When it comes to editing, the plan is, bang, on end of stream, we are live, links down below. If you want to watch Le Aquile Volano live, it's down below. Yeah, it's down below. Come follow us live on Twitch. And I tell you what, the idea is off stream, bang, straight away, edit, get it all ready in the morning, straight out before I go to work. Every day is kind of how we're going to do it. Anyhow, let's just get into it. It's so good to have a main save. So Palermo joins the likes of SFB of last year. It joins Sunderland. It joins HK. It joins Little Old Mess. And all 4 of those sides have had success at a European level, a domestic level, and at a level where it's been successful as a viewing audience to come and enjoy it. And I'm hoping Palermo is going to be the sort of thing. I know I say Palermo, it's actually Palermo, but look, I've got such a dialect down south that we just say Palermo, so it's the wrong pronunciation. You're just gonna have to get used to it, because if you haven't been around my channels, I can't pronounce anything. I'm Italian, and Avellino actually came out okay. Probably wrong example. Catania? Oh no, that came out alright. We might be okay here in Italy when it comes to pronunciation. I can't pronounce my own team name, but everything else, not too bad. Anyhow, let's get into it without further ado. We take charge here at Palermo. The players in the last year, their contracts, there is a few bigger names out here. Alessio Bottaro, I believe, is, if you go to the general screen, is our key hot prospect at centre back. He looks okay for the level. We're probably going to change some of the preferences, of course. If we go into the screen colours, the skin. Here we go into the skin colours. We'll probably change our thresholds for this save, especially in the first couple of years, just to see who's good and who's not at around our level, and then after that. But we will do that in episode 2 and have that ready for episode 2. Something I will discuss, obviously, with the YouTube, with the Twitch boys. And then, in terms of our preseason, apparently doing a light preseason. I'm just going to do a tactical preseason, because if we can get it tactically right, we will be okay. Apparently, we have no registered squad. No, we do, 22. I was reading the wrong number. And then, our club vision here is what I like about Palermo. One of the reasons why we've done the save is because the club vision is good. Secondly, this is a club steeped in history, but we're going to get into that in a second. If you were looking to develop players using the club's youth system, something I'm always big about on YouTube or my Twitch saves, on any save that I've ever done on FM, is developing a core youth of players that you generally look to use, or developing people that you buy in at a young age. Generally what I do, I find that most enjoyable about FM. We are actually dedicating a save after finishing our Aquile Volano journey with a club in Spain where we'll do a youth-only challenge. So if you're interested in that, just keep your eye out. That's not going to be until probably January, February, something like that. So yeah, as you can see here, they want me to reach the playoffs at a minimum, and then they want me in my second season to be promoted to the Serie B no matter what. The plan for me is this. We've got a good squad. I already know we have a good squad because if we go actually into the season review, season preview, we are predicted to finish third. We actually have the best left back in the league, and Almichi. Almichi, by the way, looks fantastic. You know, you're gonna have another look at that. This is the sort of guy that should be playing up a few levels. Far out. It's a leading player for most Series C. And this is the leading player for most Series C sides, then we're in trouble because, wow, he's the definition of, yeah, I can bomb on as a fullback at this level. He is so well-rounded. I wish he was like 22 and would develop. Probably wouldn't be playing at this level if that was the case. Anyhow, back to where we are with Palermo here in the first episode. In terms of why we also picked them, though, if you look at the club info and you go to the history overall, they are a side that, you know, in the early 2000s always were around, you know, fifth, another one. They were in Serie A a long time, relegated, straight back up, and then they yo-yoed, and next minute they find themselves all the way down into Serie D. I think that was because of monetary issues, and now bounce back into Serie C. Now, I'm not going to comment if that was it, but we are a side that is a side that, you know, we're a side that belongs in the Serie A historically. I believe they finished runners-up in like the very early years. Palermo, we finished runners-up in the 1974, 79, and 2011 in the Italian Coppa. I knew that, but I believe that they had some runner-ups, or maybe that's what I looked at when I did my research. They actually finished runner-up in the Italian Coppa 3 times, never won it. And I know they're a side that's never won the league, even though being in the top flight for a long time. Apparently, they were most successful during the early 2000s as well. And yeah, they're saying that the Rossonero are a club. They're not nicknamed the Rossonero. According to Wikipedia and a couple of other, you know, websites I use, Aquile Volano, the Eagles Fly, is the nickname. We researched that on Twitch live, so yeah, that's fine. In terms of our rivalries here, Catania, Messina, Frosino, there we go, first mispronunciation of a name, right there. Frosinone, there are, that is still horrid. Apparently our, you know, fierce rivals. Our derbies, though, are against Catania, Cagliari. I always have to say Cagliari because I'm illiterate. And we've obviously got Napoli as another one. Now, look, we're not going to be playing Napoli for a while, but it'd be nice to get there. In terms of what I'm going to do tactically-wise, I'm not too sure. Except the current version, by the way, that's fine. We're going to create our own tactic. I don't know what they reckon. Route 1, fluid counter-attack and part of the bus. Right. Let's just do this a little bit later. Must respond. Alright. They want me to create a tactic now. In that case, then I'm just going to load up the 4-2-4 because that's what worked at Newcastle. But I think we need to go through the players, don't you boys here? Because these are the boys that we need to get around. Alright, here we go. I have not a clue. Do we not have stuff? No, we got really good stuff. Okay, in that case then, we need to have a look at the squad. And do I want to go by an assistant report? Yeah, why not? Just want to have a look. F. De Rosa looks like a player. 34-year-old ball-winning midfielder. I actually have one of these in my system. Alright. F. De Rosa. Well, we know Almichi can do that. We've also got people that are wanted. You should see what they think my best team is actually as well. Stuff I usually click around outside. They're thinking a 4-3-1-2 narrow. Wow, interesting. Right, so they reckon that's my best side. I'll go have a quick little look here in the tactic screen as well. I'm not sure. Maybe this is one for me to click around YouTube, figure it out, and then I'll come back, explain what my best 11's looking like at the minute, maybe explain in this episode what we're going to do, and obviously the goals at the save are going to come at the end. So I'm going to cut away for a second. I'm going to come straight back, but welcome to the main save with Palermo. Let Aquile Volano translates to the Eagles fly. Will we fly? Will we rise? Are we going to die trying? Well, hopefully not. Hopefully we just fly up the ranks, get the Serie A, and do what we did with Mess SFB Sunderland, and of course HK, the very first main save that we did do, and that we, well, in all of them, we won the Champions League, the league, and the cup. So, and you know, without spelling out the goals of the save, that is generally going to be it, isn't it? So I'll see you guys in a second with a figured out tactic and a figured out way of how the squad looks, maybe even a figured out skin colour to use. And we will just go through a few of the other bits and pieces, and then we will be right into it with Palermo. The main saves here. If you're excited, give it a like. Well, mate, YouTube, into the nitty gritty now. We've just been live for what, 46 minutes? Haven't moved a muscle in terms of the save. We're still on the day of the save loading up, which is the 19th of July, and this is why we've actually gone through and built our own little tactic. It is an adaptation of the 4-3-3 that we used at Newcastle, and I'm telling you right now, the reason why we've gone for the 4-2-3-1 is we have very good defensively minded midfielders, and we'll get to that in a second. But at the minute, there's some clear areas we need to improve on, and there's some clear areas that we're good at. And the loans that they already have in at the club aren't too bad as well. And look, I'm quite happy with the squad. Well, actually, I'm happy with like 10 of the 11 players in my starting 11, and I'm happy with like a few off the bench. I'm happy with like 14 guys, 13 guys. If you give me a squad of 15 guys I'm happy with, we're going up. So that's not a bad place to start with. Now, what we did here is we have loaded up the tactic. It is very similar to the 4-2-4-3-3 that you would have seen me with Newcastle. We did the coaches like 4-3-3 little video on it. But you know, yeah, we work the ball into the box. We still look for the overlaps, and there's a reason why we are looking for the overlaps, especially on the right-hand side. We look to play out from the defence because I like to keep the ball. But the reason why I've called it the deep press is because if you look up top, we have Brunori, who has got great work rate, prefers to be a pressing forward on attack. I've actually put him onto support. Main reason why is I just feel like a little bit deeper. He's not bad. He's not the greatest on the ball, but being a little bit deeper, he's not the worst. You know, getting further forward isn't like his isn't his forward attack. Maybe we go to it. Maybe we do go to it. Maybe we do go as a pressing forward on attack, and you know, maybe get away from that passing. It's tight. Maybe we do go on support. I just feel like on defend he would. I don't know. It's close. He could play any of these three roles. We'll go with support first, right? And the reason why is we're dropping deeper, like really deep, right? And the pressing forward's got to lead the line of the press. And now if we drop deeper, we're going to be a really good side. But my mantra, welcome to Italy, by the way, and I'm Italian, right? Is if you do not concede, you do not lose. That's how we've won so many World Cups. It's literally our bread and butter. Like look at Bonucci and Chiellini defend. It like matters to us. And when I coach in real life, I am very, very much a BPO coach. You know, someone that focuses on when the opposition have the ball, where can we move the opposition without them scoring? Where do they least hurt us? Where can we move the ball to go and set up our pressing traps? Fortunately, FM doesn't go that deep, but what we can do, you know, and deep in terms of where can we press the ball, where do we want to win it, where do we want them to have it, you know, what's our dangers, what's our triggers, all that sort of stuff we can't teach on FM. But for me, I can still set us to be a bit lower and have a guy that triggers the press, and he's the pressing forward. So wait for him to come a bit deeper, and then he lulls them in. And Brunori, who is on loan from you know, Juve, comes in and does a job and can, you know, do very well up top in doing that job. Reason also is that Volante's a pretty good inverted winger. I have put him in his preferred role. Ideally, if we're going to play pressing forward, I would love two inside forwards on attack to like get beyond the pressing forward for when we win the ball, so we can build out and get people runners in. But my mantra is until we know a lot more about the squad, and maybe if we're really dominant, because if we go to the season preview, I've showed it before, I'll show it again. We are predicted to finish third, and we are predicted to play a 2 up top system. I want to see how it pans out first for us. And I really think that with the defensively minded midfielders, we are going to be in a position where if we could literally play most games this season, concede less goals than games, win a lot of games, maybe 1-0, 2-0, and keep a lot of the ball, press when we need to press, sit deeper, invite pressure, and off we go. And if we do that, we're going to be in and around that mark of getting promoted, and I feel like that's good. Also in this system, we do look to obviously overlap left and right in terms of when we have the ball, regroup, hold shape, because we want the team to have it, for them to come out, wait for our press, get Brunori into that pressing zone, and then bang, we hit him, right, and off we go. Slow down the pace, we roll the ball out, right, much lower line of engagement, yada, 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 but once we're there, in terms of their trigger, much more. Now, look, FM thinks trigger is just, okay, press and running at the ball. For me, a pressing trigger would be, all right, balls move from right centre-back to right back, striker press the right centre back, winger get tight to the right back, force that pass to either go back to the goalkeeper to set, right? And the other striker or the 10 picks up their 6 so they can't come through the middle. 2 options then for the right back. Turns, plays keeper, can't hurt us. Everyone goes back to their spot, wait for the trigger again. Or he has to go long over the top and back your 2 centre backs and win the ball, and then you're back in possession. So, as much as they say triggering press, it's the trigger for when the game will go, all right, everyone's going to try and win the ball, and that's that line of engagement, right? We're going to press more often, hence why they're pressing forward on support. Analysis is not too bad. Yep, too easy. Okay, so for me, that's the team and the idea. Positions we need is in goals, we've got 2 okay goalkeepers, but guys that are like not good enough for this level, right? And that is Samuel Masolo, and Pelagotti. At the moment, Pelagotti's the one, but yeah. The main reason why I'm loving this system, though, is that it puts a big focus on a guy like this to get forward. And Alberto Almici is that sort of guy. He is the best right back in the league. He's wanted by clubs I do not care. He's the guy that's going to be sticking around and is not going anywhere. This guy is probably going to carve the league up by himself. Plus, he's a natural free kick taker. Even better. Let this guy just go. Bomb on. Every time we get the ball, have the license to roam forward, get forward, create. Get the inverted winger, the pressing forward, after we've pressed the U-bolt into the box and get this guy swinging them in. Sounds really good. I'm really happy as a back with my back too. Marco Perotta is a left-footed, and my other centre-backs are left-footed, which I don't like, but apart from that, is one of those guys that, for this level, very physical. I have not changed the skin colours. I reckon it's best that we leave them as is, and we really look for the quality, or just aspects of green where we see it, and then when we move up the levels, we already know who's good enough. I generally would change it, but I don't think the drop to Serie C is that bad from Serie A. In terms of like the bottom level Serie A and the top level Serie C and then the whole Serie B, if you get players that are of that level but can develop, you're going to get a decent footballer at least. Marconi's our own player. He's left-footed. They say he's better at the left back. I don't see it. This is the sort of guy you want playing at centre back. He's not a natural guy going forward. He's got okay work rate, but without the pace and not crazy work rate, he would only, if he goes forward in this system, not coming back in time. But at centre back though, a guy that's got good determination, okay pace, likes to play his way out of trouble, which is not the worst for a centre back in a possession based system. Got okay mentals and the big three: heading, marking, tackling. Get him in at centre back, 6 foot, perfect, not a problem at all. Grion is one of the positions where we need to improve. Left back. But in our systems, a fullback on attack, very good backup. Also, if we did go to a 4-2-4/4-4-2, can play it as well. This is the sort of guy that, even at 26, is not particularly great. Is a great fringe player to have. And he's one of the guys that, as the backup, is not bad. I've got him in the team just so I can show you. Then it gets to the midfield quartet, and we have a very strong midfield, that is defensively minded. De Rossi, Francesco is a very, very, very good ball-winning midfielder, box-to-box midfielder. He's the sort of guy that at this level, though, he gets the ball, he wins the ball, he lays them off to more creative players. He's the guy that can, make it tick. He's a guy that has played for Regina Calabria back many, many years ago, a club that I actually support in Italy. He's not ever played at the Serie A level, but in terms of Serie B, Serie C, or Serie C football, he knows what's up. And for me, that's the thing. Having guys that are experienced at this level that are good is going to be worth their weight in gold. So there we are. Odger, on the other side, though, is the Ghanaians wanted. His contract is expiring. I want the time to a new deal. Cameronese want him at the minute. There's no way I'm letting this guy go at the minute. This guy, in terms of a definition, the ball-winning midfielder at this level, has got decent marking, decent tackling, great mentals for the level as well, and okay physicals. The stamina's huge. This is the sort of guy that, he wins the ball back, lets it tick, and off you go. Two defensively minded midfielders together, brilliant. It gets more defensive, though, because Aquile is also a ball-winning midfielder who, at this level, at 29 years of age, is fantastic. I don't know why he gets into the opposition area because he's not that great. For me, he could also play box to box, but a perfect player to have off the bench. Another one of these really hard-working midfielders, that dogged type of midfielder, I think is huge for us at this level. And Luprini maybe brings that little bit more, creativity, really, because of the 13 passing and 12 vision. But he's also the same, cut. Box-to-box midfielder, another one of these guys, a bit more defensively minded, a bit more dogged, a bit more of a runner in terms of will go up and back and just try win the ball and have a good work rate. And we've got four guys that can play the same sort of role, ball-winning midfielder or box-to-box. So for me to build a 4-2-3-1 that revolves about pressing in a deeper system, which means they have less to run, so their pace is masked, but means big amounts of work rate once the press is initiated, is huge, right? These aren't the sort of guys that you're going to expect, like at Newcastle, seeing, I was only really Danny Ceballos in my Newcastle beta say, getting on from deep and then hitting long-range hits. I'm more looking for these midfielders, these four guys that I'm hoping to keep for the next season, 2 years, to just be the base, win the ball back, give it off to the more creative players, and off we go, right? I'm happy with that. Our creative players, though, are Valenti, who we've already mentioned, right? And Fella's on loan from Salentina, right? And, he can play on the left fantastically, he can play on the right decently well as well, right? But for me, as an advanced, as an attacking midfielder, let him sit in the hole. Let him use that natural flair. Let him get on the ball in the middle of the park. Let him drive forward when he wants to. Let him get beyond the striker when he wants to. Let him sit deeper and move the ball around with his decent passing. I like him a lot. I do think as an advanced midfielder on attack, though, he is a little bit better, and I am going to put him as an advanced midfielder on attack to get him further forward, and I think that is the play for Fella, and he's one of our best players. And if you look at the game, that he's not our best player in the game here at the moment, and Mancini is, but if you look here at the season preview section, and you look at Palermo, he's the guy in the 10 that is meant to link these three to these two in that supposed system. So for me, in a deeper system, having someone that can pick the ball up, pick the lock, can drive on, but has natural flair to run at people, worth its weight in gold. So I'm really liking the system. Your obvious errors, though, here is Andrea's not good enough to even be in the squad, but I've just put him in there. He's a 20-year-old with a little bit of potential. Not going to sell. Left back as well. And, of course, look, goalkeeper's an issue. Biggest issue, though, is at right back. At the end of this YouTube, though, I've actually got a couple of trials in. Martin was offered to me by my scout, which, by the way, our chief scout, he's a part-time scout with 16, 17. Thank you very much. Ciao, Rosario. I'm Damiano. Hopefully you're doing well, my buddy. Hopefully you're doing well. Anyhow, and Bakary Kone is a name people know from Lyon days, Malaga. I don't know why he's even interested in me. To have a right-footed centre-back would be huge. I'm not going to lie. Because if we got him in, I'd just keep, what's his name, Marcano. I'd play him at left-back, but as a defensively-minded left-back. And then just be like, all right, it is what it is. No width from the left. Everything goes down the right. It is what it is. We do have our first little transfer, though. And this is for Jamie Yai MP, or Empire. Jamie Yai Empire. He's a name that I've seen at Anderlecht like a couple of years ago. Apparently went to Sampdoria, never did anything. He's available on a free. Now, as an inside forward on attack, according to the game, is 2-star. For me, though, at this level, we have facilities, if we go to club info and facilities, that are fantastic. At this level, we have great training facilities, good youth facilities, adequate recruitment. We'll work on that, because once we get them up, we're going to get good youth. For me, though, getting this guy in, playing first team football, you only want to be a breakthrough prospect, offered him regular starter. On the right-hand side, Linkio of Amicini, this guy's just going to develop into a monster at this level. And like, if this guy develops at a good rate at this level, he will get me promotion to Serie B. So we're going to end this episode with a bid that we have made. A lot of clubs, AEK, Alessandria, Brescia, Cremonese, PAOK, all major interest. West Elo in the Belgian Pro Liga B, also having a sniff. We've got him in at the minute with a contract with worth a K, which if we go to the transfers, we have 192 of a budget and a K remaining. For me, he would be a massive piece of the puzzle. He would be someone that, even though the game says, oh, because he's right-footed, not the greatest inside forward, I'd be like, mate, get coming in onto your left foot, take that step back onto your right foot and just start hitting them cross keeper. Because I think we would have a player in our hands. Anyway, that's the team, that's the squad, that's the tactic. Who here is our best key player, YouTube? You let me know, right? But all I know, I'm excited. The main save is finally here with FM22, the much anticipated Aquile Volano from Damiano Ciao. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you have, give it a like, go subscribe to the YouTube channel, and in episode 2, we're going to recap all the transfers, hopefully that say that Jamie has joined, and we will be here with Season 1, Game number 1, with Palermo in the main save, with Aquile Volano. See you next time. Thank you and goodbye.